Hi, my name is Deborah Robick, and I'm the owner of Vision Econ. And I want you to think about your marketing strategy for a minute. Are you spending hundreds of dollars on those monthly mailers and have yet to see a customer come in the door? Or maybe you're doing digital couponing and people do come to you, but then they try to bargain the rate down and you end up losing money on any product or service you offer them. If so, Vision Econ is the place for you. We've got a lot of tools that I've built for my clients over the years to help with marketing strategy, and I'm going to show you a couple of them. The first one, I want to tell you a funny story because this client came to me. This was actually built for her, personally her. She came to me. She was working full-time at the post office. She was drawing animal caricatures and actually came up with some products to sell. Came to me and said, I really need you to help me. I know nothing about marketing. I've never taken a marketing class. I don't know how to do this. I need your help. So I built her this worksheet. It's called the Marketing 101 Worksheet. I'm going to go through it a little bit with you today. Basically, I told her marketing boils down to 4 things. Who's your best customer? What's their most pressing need, problem, or desire? Where do they hang out? And how will I reach them? So if you go through the pages of this worksheet, you're going to answer all those questions and we're going to come up with a marketing strategy. I'm going to give you an example of someone here. The first thing I have my clients do is write down 2 or 3 of their perfect customers where everything went great. You made money. They were happy. You were happy. You felt fulfilled. Just write them down. Just brainstorm them. And then we're going to try to determine what characteristics they have in common so that we can kind of put them into demographic groups. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. But I want to give you a story about one of my clients. Even if you're a startup, you can still do this because she was starting a housekeeping company and she had been helping people clean their house and she enjoyed cleaning houses, obviously. And she noticed that she really loved serving disabled people, because they were appreciative, they usually tipped her a lot, and she felt really good after leaving their home. So that was one of her perfect customers, and we decided to target that market for her house cleaning. So that's where these characteristics down here come in. Okay, once you've done that and you determine what characteristics they have in common, you figure out where they hang out. You know, are they health nuts? Are they at the gym all the time? I'll give you another funny story. One of my clients, when we were going through this together, she does skincare and she determined that a good number of her clients were strippers because they needed to have flawless skin. So we built that into her strategy. So just think about where, even if it's just for fun or maybe, it's a hobby that they all have together, you got to think about where they hang in free time. Or it's where they hang out at work. Okay, once you've done that though, this is an imperative part that Vision Econ can really help you with. Let's say you've come up with 3 target markets, but there's one of them that's really small and the profit margins are really small. It really doesn't make sense for you to go after that target market unless you're losing money and you compensate for it somewhere else. With your marketing strategy, you want to have a rate of return. You want to have a return on your investment. So this is where the numbers come into play. Now you can get these numbers from a lot of different companies online. If you do a search, some of them will charge $100,000. Some will go up to $5,000 for these numbers, or you could try to get them yourself if you're really good at navigating federal websites. Or maybe an association that will have the numbers that can help you clarify how big your target market is. But this is where Vision Econ will really help you. I have a great market analyst. His name is Kevin McCoy. He's our market research and economic analyst. And he can really help you within this area. And we can get it done for you a lot cheaper than you can get anywhere else. Okay. Once you've done that and you make sure that the target markets you've chosen are worth going after, then we really have to get in their heads. What is really some of the needs, problems and desires that they have that your competitors may not be addressing? I'm going to give you an example. One of my clients does dry cleaning delivery service. And obviously dry cleaning is on the decline. Most of us are wearing business casual, so you don't need to have things professionally cleaned. You can just clean them yourself. So we had to think of something to help his business. And we determined through this brainstorming together on this worksheet that a lot of his clients really trusted him. Literally, he had keys to their homes. He would drop their dry cleaning into their closet. They would call him and say, hey, can you make sure the dog has water? Or I'm getting a package delivered today. Can you bring it in the house? So we came up with a whole idea that he could have ancillary services for his clients that weren't necessarily tied to the dry cleaning, and he still didn't have to give up his dry cleaning product line. So that's where this comes into play. You really have to understand your target market in order to figure out what kind of needs they have. And then again, come to us, we can come up with some monitors to measure the need, to make sure the need is strong enough for you to, again, spend money in marketing and whether you're going to get the return on your investment for that marketing dollar. This section all deals with your competitors. Obviously, if you're in an industry that has hundreds of competitors, you're going to need to differentiate yourself from all of them. So you're going to need to have some kind of competitive advantage. Some business consultants call this either your unique value proposition. You need to have something to make yourself different. So that's really important. After all this, when you're going through all this together, we're going to come up with a list of tactics. We're going to get costs for each of them and rank them, whether, because a lot of things maybe you've tried that I've suggested, or you just think they don't fit your personality type or your branding type. So we go through this together and we rank them, and I like to give my clients a deadline because it gives you some form of accountability, because without that, I've noticed that marketing kind of gets thrown to the wayside. So it's good to have deadlines of things you're shooting for. So this is just one of the tools. Another tool I have is, I call it my prospecting pipeline. And this is mainly for you if you're really into the sales function. You list companies by the strength of your relationship, the amount of expected revenue that you're intending to get from them, by their referral base, and it ranks them based on what's called expected value of an impact. So this is just a way to kind of zone in and focus who you're spending your time on. It's not worth spending time on a company if you know that you're not going to get any repeat business from them and their sale is only worth $10,000 versus one that's worth $100,000. But again, this ranks it based on relationship too. If someone has potential of bringing you $100,000, but your relationship is really weak and they have no referrals, they're going to fall in rank in terms of this pipeline. So it just gives you a focus and a rank of who to spend your time on. So I hope this has helped you a bit. I believe that even if you don't purchase one of our tools, that you will walk away with a lot of information about, I need to target my marketing strategy a little bit more. If you need some help, feel free to contact us on our website. Just hit the contact page and shoot us an email. If you want to use one of these tools without any direction, they're $49 each. If you want to use the tool and brainstorm together, which I recommend, because the brainstorming really does bring a lot to the whole process, it's $99. So just, like I said, hit the contact button, fill out the form, and we'll get you the tools you need, and we'll get you started on just zoning in on that marketing strategy. Thanks for listening.